One thing I want to talk about that's been coming to me a lot lately is the concept that all of reality is this one single moment that's always moving forwards and backwards upon itself at the same time. It's this one continuous cycle. And even in this moment right now, as we are creating impacts, in this video, I'm creating an impact with my voice and recording it through this phone. It's all a, how would you put it? I guess the best way to put it is just a moment in time. It's the action of the moment, and every single macrosecond is a different action creating this current moment. And when we can think at that small of a scale, and then we can realize that the bigger level of the scale is what we could call this conscious moment. This moment that we're aware of. I'm aware that my hands are on the steering wheel, that my hand's holding a phone, that I'm talking. These are the conscious things that I'm aware of. But at a microscopic level, there is so many things just going on that I am completely unaware of. I mean, all of us are unaware of. And when we realize it's just one moment duplicating itself consistently going over and over and over again upon itself. As I look at this sunset, I find beauty in it. And I mean, I find beauty in it because I've trained myself to find beauty in so many moments. Like, even looking around, I'm always paying attention to the sky. I'm always paying attention to people. How, like, as I'm driving on the highway right now, I'm paying attention to how all of these people are driving, how the people behind me are driving, how the trees feel. Because, I mean, honestly, something that we really lose track of is the fact that we're moving through space. Like, as I go from my job to my home, I have moved through so much of this planet. And I mean, like, I mean, we could all say that it's not that much of the planet, but you get what I mean? We lose track of even the idea that we're moving through something, and that everything around us we are touching, whether we're actually in contact with it or not. As I'm moving past this forest, I am completely and utterly in contact with this forest, just moving past it. And, like, as I even move past these people, we're all in contact with each other at any proximity, at any close range at all. I mean, that's literally, that's one thing that we can't deny. We have these moments that are constantly refreshing and coming through us, and it really is something that we don't understand. We haven't come to understand just exactly what this moment is between any of us. And I mean, I think there are a few people who do know. And when I say that, like, I think there are people out there that know what this present is and understand what's going on in this present, but have yet to be able to make it known, not only publicly, I would say, but make it relatable. That's the word I'm looking for. That none of us have been able to make it relatable to the masses. We haven't been able to bring this information out into light for a couple of reasons. I mean, for one, once we bring the information into light that we are literally just one organism. There aren't billions of people. There's one organism that has been able to manifest unbelievable amounts of life. Unbelievable amounts of life. Like, even as I look at this, going over this, I wonder if the phone will actually be able to catch it. Just a glimpse of it. Just how the light is literally traveling through those clouds and creating that beauty, that utter beauty. Like, oh my goodness. Like, even looking at this, the differences in all of those colors are just reflections of light at different densities. And I mean, that's what we are, is we're literally dirt and water that has been able to take form based on all other form that we have around us, and then from those densities we have feelings. I think I can hear things. I think I can see things. Well, really all those senses is information being analyzed and transmitted, and then we recall all of it. We recollect every single bit of that information, and we take it and then we put it to use. So when you listen to music on a day-to-day basis that you like, you're using the information that you're taking in, aka that music, to make yourself feel a certain way. It's just like eating a food. You eat a banana, it's going to taste different than eating a cheeseburger. You listen to rap, it's going to be different than listening to country. You get a different feeling from it. And it all comes down to what you are. What do you want? And I mean, we're all pieces of a single collective consciousness. So each one of us wants something different, because the collective doesn't need to all feel the same thing. No. For us to be able to feel, we want to feel everything differently. So, we're different people. We're humans. We're different parts of a single organism experiencing itself in an infinite variety. And that's literally what makes us who we are. Like, when we interact with each other and we feel like we don't like someone, it's not because we don't like that person, it's because we know. We know that that person is us, and we know that by communicating with that body, by communicating with that mind and the spirit, it changes us. Like, everything about communication changes us, because, I mean, you can't go into a hot room and stay cold. It doesn't work that way. Everything's always changing based on its surroundings, based on what it is, because we are just one organism, constantly fluctuating in every single direction. And it is that forward motion that we conceive. That is the conscious moment, is the forward motion of reality. It is everything that is going onward. But the backwards motion of reality is how reality continues to keep going. As it is going forward, just as with yin and yang, one is, as a lot of people say, the fish chasing the other one's tail. They're always going back and forth on each other. They're dancing. That backwards motion is the reset. And that's one reason why we can know who we are. When you reset, you're going back to the beginning, and you're experiencing the same moment in a different way, which is why that truly is reality. As I am currently in motion through here, I could go in any direction. I don't have to go home. But what I consider to be familiar is what I call home. And so by heading there, I know in my mind that I'm going to end up in that place. And that is what eludes us to the idea that everything is always changing, because we think that we're going to the same places over and over again. Well, they are the same places, but the movement that it took us to get there is never the same. It's always different. Yesterday is not today. Today is not tomorrow. It's all moving in its own way. And I mean, if I wanted to get deeper into it, there is no yesterday, there is no tomorrow, there is only now. And this now is just the ever-changing moment that is going forward and backwards upon itself. It recreates itself over and over again. Well, we call these moments days of the week. We relate to these things as months, as years, as cycles. Well, that right there is exactly why we do not realize that this is the same moment repeating itself forever. It'll never stop, no matter if we're here or not. The fact that we are here is the reason that we have the ability to release our consciousness, to expand it outward, and to relay it. We literally are reality trying to understand itself through each one of us. As we watch people, our reactions to the people around us are felt by them subconsciously. At an atomic level, It's all known to each other, because I mean, it's just like a wave in the ocean. You feel the push. There's always another push. And yeah, maybe you don't know it, but there's a push happening six pushes away from you that caused that push to hit you. That's synchronicity. That's the interlaying factors of an ever-expanding existence that we are a part of. There's nothing else to it. This is simply just the existence changing itself. And I mean, we have changed a lot of things based on what we have found suitable to survive through. Just like streets and roads. We created all of that. The fact that we have straight places to go is unbelievable when you really think about it. Like, when you look into the past, when you look 100 years ago and realize that none of what we have today was possible. Like, at all. And the fact that we've created such comfortable things and we've created these structures that allow us to do these things is why we are suddenly hitting this boom that was not possible in the past. And this boom is creating knowledge of the game. The game that these people have been playing. And I mean, we play it with each other because we don't know any better. But it's finally starting to break down to where it's possible for anyone to do anything in this reality. And eventually it's going to crumble down and break, because it's not about what one person can do anymore. It's about what we have to do as a collective. And really, even today, this is August 8th, 2018. This is the 8/8 Lionsgate, the opening of so much information just through reality. I mean, it's part of this cycle that we go through every single year when we're in line with these constellations and we're able to experience this energy flow through our physical bodies, our water, our earth, our air and our fire, our light and our darkness. All of the elements of ourselves are being impacted by everything around us. We're being pushed 6 waves ahead. We're feeling it. We're feeling this change that is coming through us. And I mean, there's so many people who are changing with it now. Before, even 40 years ago, from this point, there was a lot of people who were able to figure out how to change, but there weren't millions of people changing. There was only maybe a million, maybe a few million, maybe more. I mean, I can't honestly say, but it is starting to reach the point where the masses cannot stay asleep. And if they do stay asleep, they're gonna die. It's just the way that it's come to. Like, there's not much that we can do to change it. The only thing that we can do to change is change ourselves. If we can change ourselves, then we've already changed reality. Like, and I mean, not even changed who we are, changed anything about us, but changed what controls us. Do we control ourselves, or are we controlled by the life around us? And I mean, in some ways you can't help but be controlled by the life around you. I had to learn this deeply and personally when I tried to stop using money. I thought money, if I could get away from using money and prove to people that you didn't need to use it, then maybe other people would stop using it too, and we could create this financial collapsing of all currency. And I mean, it was honestly a big thought. Like, it was something that I wish I could have done, but it was illogical. Like, there was no way whatsoever. I mean, that's the best way to put it. And so when I say what controls you, I don't just mean like you're controlled by having to go to work. I mean, that is part of it, but I mean, are you the one that is deciding that it's time for you to go to work because you're willing to survive in this reality? You're willing to play this game because in a lot of cases we have to, and we're not doing it because we have to, we're doing it because we want to, I guess, is really what I'm trying to put it at. If we can get to that point where we are truly the masters of our reality, where we are doing the things that we choose to do, not the things we are forced to do. I mean, there are things we are forced to do, but we are choosing to do them. then we have taken the power and we have put it in our own hands. I mean, there's nothing anyone can do to ever take that away from any of us. Like, nobody can tell me that I can't do what I want to do. And if I want to do something that's bad for me, then I'm going to do it. Whether or not anyone tells me, because if I have to live with the consequences, then I made the choice. It was truly my decision, is my reality. It's our reality. Like, every single one of us is an individual in a collective consciousness. And because the collective needs to experience itself individually, we need to experience ourselves individually and express what we feel deep down inside. I know I have such an incredibly hard time expressing what I feel deep down inside because I am scared. I'm scared of my past. I'm scared of a lot of the things that have happened to me over and over again. I mean, I've learned my lessons from the things that I've done. But when we don't let our feelings out, we're never going to learn from them. We're never going to understand how we experience life. We're never going to get out of that shell and have a new experience that is beyond anything we were ever capable of. I mean, imagine, I don't know, just like getting on a roller coaster for the first time. Like, you're so scared to do it, but as soon as you do it a few times, you're used to it. You're not worried about it at all. And I mean, that's how we should be in our lives. We shouldn't be worried. I shouldn't be worried about going back to college. I shouldn't be worried about where I'm going to end up in the next several years. I shouldn't be worried about what I need to do and what I need to not do, like, for other people around me and everything like that. Like, if I feel something that I need to do it. And whether or not it's going to hurt me or not, because, I mean, how else am I going to know if it's actually going to hurt me? Yeah, I can assume it's going to hurt me. I can investigate the situation and I can pick at it and make it to be so finite, but really, the only thing you should ever be picking at is exactly what happened to you, not what could happen to you. So that's just my way of thinking, and I really wanted to make just a quick video. I've been feeling like I haven't talked very much lately. Like, I haven't let out my voice as much as I used to be letting it out. And I've been centering myself in the certain sense of being able to take in all of these moments that I'm having all the time and actually flourishing them, watering my plants, like the plants of my soul, watering the garden that is inside of me, because it truly is the Garden of Eden. No matter what anyone says, the Garden of Eden is inside of you. It's nowhere else. We all have a garden inside of us. It is our soul. And the patches of ourselves that we're not watering are going to die. The soil is still there. And I mean, we have all the seeds that we need. But if we don't continue to love ourselves and love what we're doing, then pieces of us do die. And sometimes we start watering the weeds that are killing us and strangling us to death. And that's why a lot of people get consumed by anxiety, consumed by depression, consumed by sadness, because, I mean, they've filtered that into their lives. I did. I've been ravaged by my own sadness and grief and guilt. Guilt has been a big one for me. I've never had a lot of core fundamentals. Like, when they talk about your core, like being your abdomen, and you understanding that your core is your third chakra, the core is the center point for all of the information that you have. That's why it is considered to be filled with your actions. Because if you allow yourself to feel like your actions are not positive, and I guess I shouldn't say positive, but your actions are not valid, that the things that you do and the mistakes that you make aren't necessary, then you feel as if you've done something wrong. And you can't do anything wrong. I mean, right and wrong are an opinion. No matter what anyone has to say. I don't care. Like, I will sit there and I'll argue with anyone for a year straight about the fact that right and wrong is an opinion. Period. It is an opinion. You can believe whatever you want to about what is right and wrong, but at the end of the day, it is an opinion based on what you have programmed yourself to believe in. Period. And so, with that, we have to love ourselves. And we have to let go of the guilt that fills our minds and our brains. And we have to, when we fall down, we have to get up and we have to try again. Whether or not we know we're going to fall, maybe we learned something from the last time that we fell, and this time we won't. We don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I even feel like I have trained my intuition to be so strong that in some ways I do know what's going on around me before it even happens. Like, my body will start reacting to something before it happens, 5 minutes before it'll happen. And I really don't know what's going to happen, but I know something's going to happen. Like, that's what I feel. And sometimes I can ask myself a simple question and know the answer no matter what, or I guess I should say no matter how it appeals to me. Like, really, I don't think that there's very many times that I have allowed myself to do something that was unappealing that I have really regretted it. Because I can see that the little things that you do right now, the little tiny changes that you make in your life, impact all of it. But we don't think that way. We don't think that what if I ate a tomato sandwich or a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, but I took the lettuce off of the sandwich this time, that difference in action actually influences everything that you've done. It doesn't just influence what's going on in your stomach. It doesn't just influence what you taste and everything about that. That simple 3 seconds of grabbing lettuce that you changed that day changed everything. Literally. Everything after that just changed. I mean, you could see that with anything. If I decided, I know the fastest route to get to my house, but if I decided to take the long way, changed everything. At least everything that I thought of. You know what I mean? I guess that's how you could see it, is when we assume things, we're always planning for the same things to happen. Because, I mean, that's the way our brains work. It's literally psychology. Like, the brain is constantly repeating itself over and over again. It's collecting data, it's defragging the data, and analyzing it. And that's how we know things. That's literally how we do things. I mean, me being a Virgo, period, makes me feel like I'm a baby all the time. All the time. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. I have to be taught how to do simple tasks one time and one time only. But if I'm not taught how to do that simple task, it's gone. Like, I mean, it's blank for me. I don't know. And I don't care to know, to be honest with you. Everything is so new to me all the time that I'm constantly in this state of mind that is evolving. I mean, every single second, I am always thinking. And I mean, I'm thinking 3 thoughts at once sometimes, which is really hard on me personally, but oh, it just is who I am. It is what it is. It is what I live with and what I deal with. And so, just to end this video, since I finally made it home to my house, we need to take those moments of life and realize they're not actually different from each other. How you feel today will influence how you feel tomorrow. And the same goes for everything. What you do today will influence how you feel tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not saying that what you do today is directly going to change tomorrow. No, I'm saying that if you do something today that makes you feel a certain way, you're prone to feeling that way again and again and again and again as the situation comes up. Like I've noticed lately that whenever I try to defend myself, I'll start saying, okay, these are my reasons. And it doesn't matter how many there are, but I'll be like, all right, this is reason number 1, number 2. I mean, it's because it's a way I've delegated how to explain myself. And it's just this, it's always reoccurring. I mean, we are reoccurring beings inside of a single conscious moment trying to expand. That's literally what we're doing. A constant form of expansion. And being able to sit down and feel that expansion as it is never ending is being able to focus on yourself and truly meditate. Because all that we really need to do is accept us. If we can accept us and we can take who we are into our hearts and flow with it, everything will change. This whole world will change, especially if all of us do it. And I mean all of us. I think at one point, we are truly going to open up telepathy on this planet. As a conscious being, we're all going to know who each other is, what each other is, and we're going to exist in harmony. It's coming. It is coming. I feel it every single day. I already know I've opened it up. I've opened it up in different ways. And I mean, even as much as I've opened myself up doesn't mean I'm not still scared, just like everybody else is. We have that as a collective consciousness. We have those egos that we have yet to transcend and go beyond. I mean, so many of us do. I mean, if 6 billion people have an ego and the other billion don't, we're still going to be influenced by those 6 billion people. And if we don't overcome ourselves, we're never gonna go beyond what they are. It's not possible. But this is gonna be the end of this video. I'm glad I made another one after 4 months. I think it's been, maybe it's even been longer. Who even knows? I've made a couple of other videos here and there, but I haven't sat down and actually put them out for other people to listen to for a while. And you know, because I'm scared. I mean, I'm scared of sounding stupid, scared of sounding wrong. I've even heard from some people about my videos that they just don't understand them. And I mean, that's fine with me. I don't even understand myself sometimes 100% of the way. But you know what they say about true genius is that they don't know how to explain what they feel. They just feel it. And the struggle in their lives is being able to find an outlet to express it. And I hope that this will become my outlet, and I hope that this is going to help people, like help anyone who wants to hear these words, help anyone who just watches these videos. Yeah. Good night to you all. I'm gonna... Peace out.